doesn't take that rematch, after you beat him, would Charlo be the other option for, the fight?
Well, they know if he's going to take the fight, It's in the contract, so.
Breaking news of more great news as Crawford revealed that after both Errol Spence fights, Crawford is guaranteed the Jermell Charlo fight for undisputed at 154. And that's exactly who he wants next. In fact, Crawford said it's already on the contract. On the other hand, Errol Spence revealed after he done with Crawford, he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez either at a catch weight of 165 or at Canelo Alvarez's current weight at 168, meaning Errol Spence is willing to move up 3 weight divisions in order to fight Canelo Alvarez.
We're not thinking about Canelo right now, but if the fight come across the table, I definitely take that fight. I feel like 165, 168, that's more my natural weight, and it's a lot easier for me to make. So I definitely take that fight.
Honestly speaking, the Canelo Alvarez fight is a much easier fight for Errol Spence than Crawford. Even though Errol Spence has to move up 3 weight divisions to fight Canelo, while Crawford, on the other hand, had to move up 2 weight divisions to fight Errol Spence. Even under them type of circumstances, the much smaller Crawford is a way tougher fight for Errol Spence than Canelo Alvarez, the way bigger Canelo Alvarez, because skills pay the bills. That's why. Let alone if Canelo was in the same division as Errol Spence and Crawford, he would have had to end up ducking them for life, the exact same way he has been ducking Charlo and Andrade for nearly a decade. While you have Canelo Alvarez fighting the likes of a 40 years old Gennady Golovkin, Ryder, and Edgar Berlanga next, on the other hand, we have Crawford fighting Errol Spence twice. Then he planning on moving up in weight to fight Jermell Charlo for undisputed at 154. Keep in mind, this is the same Jermell Charlo that Canelo Alvarez ducked at 154. That's right, for the people that's not informed. Canelo Alvarez turned down a Jermell Charlo fight at 154 in order to fight Crooklyn instead. And he caused Golden Boy to lose Jermell Charlo since they couldn't deliver the Canelo Alvarez fight as they promised, all because Canelo Alvarez didn't want the smoke.
Kind of avoided by some of the main guys that people thought was the studs, and they never wanted to give me that to me because they knew what it was from the beginning. I asked for that fight before Rosado. They told me, "Oh, you win this fight, you beat Rosado, you gonna fight Canelo." And then I ain't fight Canelo, and guess what I did? Me professionally, I wrote up a release myself to Golden Boy, and I sent it to him. It wasn't Al Heyman that said that. It's because they lied to me. They're not bad people. They just lied to me all my career.
What's interesting is that Canelo Alvarez turned down his biggest paydays to fight Errol Spence, David Benavidez, and not just one Charlo, but both Charlos. Canelo and Jermell Charlo were both in the same division. They were both under the same promoter and the same company. They are also the same age, while Crawford, on the other hand, is 40 years older than Charlo. He's 36 while Charlo is 32. Plus, Crawford has to move up to his 4th weight division in order to fight Jermell Charlo, who's still campaigning in his 1st weight division. So clearly, Crawford is willing to do what Canelo ain't willing to do, under worse circumstances. And let's not talk about Errol Spence, who's willing to move up 3 weight divisions immediately in order to fight Canelo Alvarez. With that being said, boxing keep getting better and better, but there's no better fight than Errol Spence versus Crawford for undisputed. The only fight that could top that is Devin Haney versus Shakur, or perhaps Shakur versus Gervonta and Gervonta versus Devin Haney. Outside of that, nothing come close. And even though Crawford versus Jermell Charlo is a very tough and a great fight, however, Errol Spence is still the better fight. But there's no doubt about it. The best next thing for Crawford is the Jermell Charlo fight. It don't get better than that to become 3 times undisputed in 3 different weight divisions, and to do it back-to-back against Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. Talk about legacy, talk about history. On the other hand, even Errol Spence versus Canelo, that's not a tougher fight for Errol Spence than Crawford. Ultimately, we talking about pound for pound number 1 Crawford going up against pound for pound number 2 Errol Spence when they are both still undefeated. Like I said before, the winner of the fight of the decade between Crawford and Errol Spence will not just be the undisputed champion in the welterweight division, but also the undisputed pound for pound king, the number 1 pound for pound king in the sport of boxing. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.